Well, amidst unprecedented security cover, India is celebrating its 72nd Republic Day today by showcasing its military and cultural might. This year, the celebrations have been scaled down because of the coronavirus pandemic, which is why the Indian Armed Forces will march with masks on at the Rajpath. Only 25,000 people will be allowed to attend the ceremony as opposed to over 1 lakh spectators who usually attend the event every year. The parade will also be shorter this year. Instead of marching up to Red Fort, the parade will end at the National Stadium in Delhi and only the tableaus will be allowed to perform at the Red Fort. The game changer Rafale fighter jet, which was inducted into the Indian Air Force last year, will for the first time roar through the skies over Delhi for the final flypast later today. Flight Lieutenant Bhavna Kant, India's first woman fighter pilot, will make history. She will be part of the parade as well. Well, at the flypast, Su-30 MKIs will be displaying indigenously developed Astra and Brahmos missiles as well. I want to go straight across to our defense editor, Abhishek Bhalla, who's been reporting on all of the preparations right through this week and joins us early this morning as well. Good morning, Abhishek. It's going to be a shorter Republic Day, but clearly, looking at the plans, looking at what's going to be on display, it's going to be no less spectacular than any other year.
Good morning and a very happy Republic Day to you, Shiv, and all our viewers. Yes, you're right that, the celebrations are curtailed, but they are by no means muted. Of course, we know that there is no chief guest this year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Prime Minister of UK was supposed to be here, but
yes,
that hasn't happened. But, some of the big attractions, the first actually is the presence of a Bangladeshi military contingent. It's a tri-service contingent of their Army, Navy and Air Force, and they will be leading the parade contingent. And the reason is that, India enters into the 50th year of the 1971 war. It's the Golden Jubilee. I interacted with some of these officers who are here in New Delhi, and they have been extremely excited and extremely proud and also have expressed their gratitude for what happened in 1971. So that's one big attraction. Other than that, of course, the weapon systems on display, many of them actually are in action, yes, and are deployed against China in the ongoing tussle in Ladakh. So, that's something that people can relate to.
Okay.
There is a context to what they see. It's not the first time that the Brahmos will be there, or the T-90 tank will be there, or various air defense systems will be there. But there is a context to their presence at the parade this time around.
Abhishek, stay with me. Let's put a face to a name. The military might that's going to be on display today at the annual parade is going to be no less. It's not going to be scaled down. Of course, one of the big headlining factors is going to be the Rafale fighter jet will be making its first public display at the Republic Day this year. These aircraft entered service last year and they will be flourish over the Rajpath today. Take a look at the military might that's going to be on display in just a few hours from now. The Brahmos supersonic cruise missile, the T-90 Bhishma tank, the king of the battle, the Pinaka multi-launcher rocket system, the Shilka anti-aircraft weapon, bridge-laying tanks and communication jammer systems. The Republic Day Parade 2021 is not only about India's military might, but also about Atmanirbhar Bharat in defense. Take, for example, the Pinaka multi-launcher rocket system.
Right behind me is the bow of Lord Shiv, the Pinak multiple launcher rocket system made in India, and this weapon system is all about completely pulverizing the enemy in 44 seconds. 6 such launchers together can decimate the enemy in about 1 kilometer by 800 meter area.
Developed by the Defence Research and Development Organisation, the Pinaka system showcases the success of Make in India and the Army's resolve to continue with Make in India dreams in defence. The current range may be under 40 kilometres, but the DRDO has promised to increase the range to at least 90 kilometres.
Pinaka is the name of Lord Shiva's bow, and it is rightly named so because 6 launchers like these can fire 72 rockets onto the enemy 37.5 kilometers away in a matter of 44 seconds, thus delivering a payload of 77.2 tons and thus completely destroying an area of 1,000 meters by 800 meters.
The Brahmos supersonic cruise missile is perhaps the most lethal weapon system on display, with a range of 400 plus kilometers and the ability to destroy any enemy vital asset with pinpoint accuracy.
This is a pinpoint target weapon. Wherever you want to hit, it will hit. And when we talk about the devastation effect, that is classified. But obviously when it carries the amount of explosive, it will obviously devastate.
The army is displaying the Pinaka and Brahmos as part of the artillery on Republic Day.
Their motto is Sarvatra Izzato Iqbal, and the artillery display the Brahmos supersonic cruise missile this year on Rajpath. Brahmos, a supersonic cruise missile, has a capability of decimating targets 400 kilometers away and faster than the speed of sound, that it cannot be detected or caught on weapon locating radars.
Also occupying pride of place this Republic Day is the tableau of the Border Roads Organization, raised in 1960 for construction of 60,000 kilometers of roads and 19 airfields. The Border Roads is being hailed for not only speedy construction of strategic roads along the India-China line of actual control, but also for keeping high-altitude passes open throughout the winters, despite the huge challenges posed both in the northern and eastern borders.
We cut mountains but connect hearts. A famous roadside slogan of BRO indicates true nature of its work.
The T-90 tank, the main battle tank of the Indian Army, will be on Rajpath as well. These tanks are already deployed both along the line of actual control in Ladakh and along the India-China border.
Tank T-90 is a third generation tank, a Russian tank. In India we call it the tank Bhishma. It has a 125 mm smoothbore gun, which has the capability to fire 5 kinds of ammunition and has a range up to 5 kilometers and can destroy any target between the range 5,000 meters.
The T-90 tank, also called the Bhishma, is one of the most potent in Indian Army's armory, and that's the reason why during the ongoing conflict in Ladakh, the T-90s were deployed in forward areas where there was friction. The tank can function in deserts as well as at heights at more than 15,000 feet when temperatures dip to minus 30 degrees.
The infantry combat vehicle Sarat and the 20-meter bridge-laying tanks mounted on T-72 tank chassis were airlifted to Ladakh and speedily deployed along the line of actual control and the border, ensuring that Chinese transgressions were effectively countered. The might of the mechanized forces will enthrall audiences this 72nd Republic.
Fully tracked amphibious capability vehicle which can operate in various terrains such as the mountainous terrain, in deserts and in plains. And the important thing is, because of its being lightweight, it can be transported from one place to another with the help of the heavy lift choppers.
The role of air defense assumes great significance in the light of adversaries increasingly sending unmanned aerial vehicles and low-flying aircraft. This is where the upgraded Shilka air defense system plays a critical role in keeping vital assets safe. This year the contingent is commanded by Captain Preeti Chaudhary, a Sword of Honour awardee.
This is a self-propelled all-weather tracked weapon system. So it has a capability of 3,400 rounds rate of fire, and it has a capability of tracking and shooting down aerial target flying at a height of 2.5 kilometers. So this plays a very important role in providing the low-level air defense to the defense system.
Every year the Indian Armed Forces display their mettle and power at the Republic Day. But this year it comes amid the standoff with China, and most of the weapons that will be on display have been playing a very important role during that tussle in Ladakh. Many of the men who are here, they have their brethren serving in forward areas in Ladakh even during this harsh winter. With camera person Ashwani Helen, Abhishek Bhalla in New Delhi for India Today.
So you've seen all of those military items there on display ahead of the big parade today, which is going to begin in just a couple of hours from now. and then you'll see them rolling down the Rajpath. It's going to be spectacular like with every year. It's been shortened. The length of the parade has been shortened, but the spectacle hasn't been given short shrift. Welcoming onto our coverage this morning, very happy and privileged to have with us Vice Admiral Anup Singh, former Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief of the Eastern Naval Command, very well-known military veteran. Also with us is Air Marshal Anil Chopra, who's a veteran fighter pilot. You've seen him on India Today many times before. Good morning, sirs, to the both of you. Privileged to have you with us. Air Marshal Chopra, to you first. Everyone looks for a big headline of what's going to be new this year at the parade. Is there going to be anything we've never seen before? And of course, the one thing that jumps out at all of us is the Rafale. You and I have seen it. The public hasn't seen it in, up close before. This time, perhaps it's going to be the first time that all of the people of the national capital will be looking into the sky for that glimpse of the Rafale today.
Good morning, Shiv. And thank you for inviting me for this important event, Republic Day Parade. And firstly, my greetings to all Indians on this Republic Day from this air veteran. And other than the Rafale, I want to mention that a very important day that Colonel Babu and his boys, they are going to be honored. Colonel Babu will get the Mahavir Chakra and the other boys will be getting Veer Chakra and other awards. And of course, Rafale is going to be coming in for the first time at Republic Day Parade, and it is going to be the star, the Brahmastra of the parade, and the finale, the vertical Charlie, which symbolizes victory. That is going to be performed this time by the Rafale, and the country is looking forward. Many systems have got inducted in the armed forces in the past year, and I'm sure we are going to talk more about it as we go along.
Absolutely. Admiral Singh, to bring you in on this, many people had wondered whether the system would be able to pull off a Republic Day because of the pandemic, because of all the restrictions that all of us have been under. So it's pretty, a pretty decent achievement that even though it's going to be a truncated parade itself in terms of the length, the fact that we're able to put it out is still a great thing.
Absolutely, Shiv. I mean, the whole world is watching us, and particularly the West, the way India has beaten the pandemic and actually proved many naysayers wrong. We've done wonders, and to be able to stage the parade the way it used to, with all precautions, is a great achievement.
Incredible. I mean, it really is an achievement. And, like Admiral Singh said, this is an important fact, for all those out there watching. The world is watching India. India is already a very important country, but it is especially important in the COVID pandemic because of the role that India is playing in sending vaccines out to other countries. We'll get to that aspect also in just a minute, and you'll see a reflection of India's vaccine maitri also in the parade today. I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but it's going to be there. But as Air Marshal Chopra very rightly said, the defining factor, the defining image today must be the braves of Galwan. Colonel Santosh Babu, commanding officer of the 16 Bihar Regiment, who took on Chinese belligerents in Ladakh's Galwan Valley in June last year, will be conferred today with a posthumous Mahavir Chakra, the second highest wartime gallantry decoration. 4 others who laid down their lives during the clashes in the Galwan Valley in June last year will be honored with posthumous Veer Chakra. Havildar Tejinder Singh from the 3 Medium Regiment, who was a member of the Indian Army team at the Galwan Valley clash, has also been named for the Veer Chakra award. He was grievously injured but thankfully survived. 14 other Galwan heroes who also made the supreme sacrifice in that violent clash have been conferred with the Sena Medal. Gallantry awards for warlike action are being given for the first time since the Kargil conflict in 1999 to army personnel. Remember, last year, Wing Commander Abhinandan Varthaman also got a wartime decoration, the Veer Chakra. Conspicuous bravery in the face of the enemy. Gallantry beyond all measure. A commanding officer who led his troops to defend Indian sovereignty and honor. Colonel Bikkumala Santosh Babu, the officer who made the supreme sacrifice in the Galwan clash last June. On Republic Day, the Army hero will be decorated with the country's second highest gallantry award, the Mahavir Chakra, a stunning affirmation of his courage and grit in the face of Chinese treachery. The country needs no reminding of the colonel's fearless leadership when the Chinese attempted to occupy territory in eastern Ladakh's Galwan Valley 6 months ago. The horrific clash in which the officer lost his life also saw 19 other Indian soldiers killed in action and almost as many Chinese. But Colonel Santosh Babu, ever soft-spoken, had demonstrated to the Chinese at the cost of his life that Indian sovereignty is non-negotiable and that India does not pander to bullies. His courage and valor remain etched in a country's memory and his family's too.
जो मेरे साथ फैमिलीज भी है उन सब की मेरा तरफ से भी मेरा यही निवेदन है कि पूरा देश और थोड़ा सपोर्ट करने से फौजी आगे बढ़ेगी स्ट्रॉन्ग रह के उनको जवाब देना है एंड बट नो नीड टू आई नीड ओनली पीस एंड स्टेबिलिटी
As a citizen of India, as a defense family person, I feel proud of my son.
For the troops of 16 Bihar Regiment, the decoration will be a huge source of pride and honor, given that the supreme sacrifice by Colonel Santosh Babu has been recognized just months after his brave feat in the Galwan Valley. But there's another important message that many may miss. The fact that the colonel is being decorated with a posthumous Mahavir Chakra is also a direct message to China. The MVC is a wartime gallantry award, equivalent to Kirti Chakra in peacetime. In other words, India is telling the world and China that it has been at war in Ladakh since May 2020. A powerful message enshrined in one single medal to a deceased army hero. India hails and remembers the brave colonel, an eternal hero of this land. Bureau Report. Welcoming on to our coverage this morning, we have with us Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, hero of Siachen. General Kulkarni, good morning. Thanks for joining our coverage. Mahavir Chakra for Colonel Santosh Babu, General. Apart from this being a highly worthy decoration for the brave commanding officer of the 16 Bihar, this is also a message, is it not, General, to China, to the world, that since May last year, India has been at war. It's a wartime decoration.
Definitely, Shiv. First, Jai Hind to all the countrymen, and it could have been a better. But let me be clear, Shiv, that this award is only given for gallantry in war conditions. And all other awards, that's Ashok Chakra, Kirti Chakra, and Shaurya Chakra, are given for similar acts, but in peace conditions. The fact that Santosh Babu has been decorated with Mahavir Chakra posthumously is indicative that it was a war-like situation. It was almost war. And the turning point, I think, is Galwan.
Yes.
It seems to have been acknowledged by each and everyone, not just within India, the world over. People have realized that the expansionist policies of China have to be halted. And this is what you rightly said, a clear messaging to China that we will not entertain any expansionism by the Chinese. They will be given a befitting reply. And the very fact that Santosh Babu and his comrades have been given gallantry awards for which otherwise one would get it in war is indicative that yes, things are not normal.
Yes.
And China needs to understand that. And the world seems to have taken a notice of this, that yes, things are not normal between India and China. And the Chinese, I think, will well know it, that India will give a befitting reply to whatever actions that the Chinese take. And this is, I think,
yes,
a clear message.
And you can be sure, like Admiral Singh was also saying, the world is watching, and you can bet that China is watching. China is watching every single thing that India is doing, and you can bet that they're going to watch every single bit of body language that takes place at today's Republic Day parade as well. Admiral Singh, a very considered decision to give Colonel Santosh Babu the Mahavir Chakra. It could very easily have been a Kirti Chakra. There was another Kirti Chakra decoration that is being awarded today to a brave Special Forces soldier from the 4 Para Special Forces. But the Mahavir Chakra being given to Colonel Santosh Babu was a considered decision to send out a specific message. Do you agree?
Absolutely. And that, just as General Kulkarni said rightly, actually projects us in absolutely the right light to the rest of the world, and particularly to China. This was not just a warlike situation. China tried to wage a proper war, and therefore we gave them a befitting reply. Unfortunately, we lost some of the soldiers, our brave hearts.
Yes.
And there couldn't have been anything better than to award Santosh Babu, Colonel Santosh Babu, a Mahavir Chakra.
Marshal Chopra, your view on this, the message that goes out with the awarding of the Mahavir Chakra is a big one. I mean, this basically tells the world that this is not business as usual for India. This is not an usual situation, even though India rarely ever has peacetime on its borders. Here, India is categorically saying that we are at war.
Absolutely, Shiv. You know, see, India has been showing great amount of maturity. In the last 6-7 years, the Prime Minister has had one-to-one meetings with Xi Jinping in India as well as in China.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the Chinese have made a stupid move, if I may use that word, and they have angered 130 crore Indians. That is nearly 1/6 the population of the world has got angered with their actions. But I must tell you,
yes.
The Army Chief, the Air Force Chief especially, have made statements. Indian Armed Forces are ready. They are in big numbers. And starting from Galwan, the Armed Forces are ready to take on any eventuality if the Chinese were to decide to be more stupid. A great honor that we are honoring with Mahavir Chakra, Colonel Babu and his team, and a few Veer Chakras,
yes,
and some other gallantry awards. Undoubtedly, they deserve it. And the nation is extremely proud, and we, the veterans, are extremely proud that we are honoring someone who has done such a great act of gallantry.
The one thing we can all be sure of is that even though a tense calm has been prevailing in Ladakh for the last 4 to 5 months, the Indian Army, the Indian military is taking absolutely nothing for granted. In Ladakh, in our other frontiers with China, the Indian Ocean, nowhere is anything being taken for granted. No diversionary tactics or mind games are being allowed to muddy the waters as far as India's perception that this is an adversary that needs to be dealt with firmness and nothing else. No sweet talk. No hugs and kisses across the talks table. Nothing will deter India from putting and setting the agenda as far as what happens from here on in. And that's one of the big messages that goes out today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.